The NBA has revealed both preseason and regular season schedules. For the Detroit Pistons, things don't look as bad as last year, so get your Sharpies ready to circle some dates because I'm about to break everything down. We begin with preseason where the Pistons play 4 games. First game will be against Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. That game will be on TNT. Turner is betting on Donovan Mitchell being traded before preseason, which would make this a must-watch game. Then the squad takes on the Pelicans, Thunder, and Grizzlies. Cade vs Zion is happening earlier than expected. I'm happy for this clash even if it's preseason. On the flip side, some unfortunate news dropped about the second overall pick, Chet Holmgren. He will miss the entire season after injuring his foot. Injuries always ruin things, so look for OKC to be tanking again. Speaking of injuries, last preseason the Pistons could not shake the injury bug. Hopefully we have better luck this year. On to the regular season. Unlike last year, we have an easy schedule to start. First game of the season on October 19th, the Pistons will face off against the Orlando Magic at Little Caesars Arena. This is great for a number of reasons. Saddiq Bey had his career night versus the Magic, dropping 51 points. Look for him to go off again against them. Then we have a clash of number 1 overall picks with Cade Cunningham versus Paolo Banchero. Perfect that this battle will be happening game 1. The schedule makers were in their bag with this matchup. Final note on this game is that it will kick off the Rookie of the Year race. Both Jaden Ivey and Banchero will be in the mix for that award. Next 3 games, the Pistons will play against the Knicks, Pacers, and Wizards. The Knicks added Jalen Brunson to run their offense, then Donovan Mitchell could land in New York as well. But until that actually happens, I give the Pistons the edge. Then the Pacers didn't improve, so that could be a win. The only team out of this bunch that got better were the Wizards, but they are still beatable. So the Pistons could start 4-0 or even 3-1. Both those are great scenarios for a young team looking to get momentum. After that though, things get serious. The squad will get familiar with the new look Hawks in a 2-game series on October the 26th and the 28th. They now have DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, which makes an all-star backcourt. After his antics this summer, DeJounte Murray needs to be humbled, so I'm hoping we get one of those games. Then 2 days later is the most disgusting back-to-back I've ever seen. Our NBA Halloween special will feature the defending champs Golden State Warriors and the previous champions in the Milwaukee Bucks. Steph and Giannis on back-to-back nights is a nightmare. Listen, if the squad wins both of these games, we as fans are obligated to say we're a super team. So yeah, Trick or Treat is about to have a whole new meaning this year. Skipping ahead to a free win, which is on November 14th, when the Pistons host the Raptors. Dwayne Casey is already creating a game plan as we speak. November 18th features Stu vs LeBron Part 3. Part 1 had some fireworks, but with Stu in his new role, he'll have a chance to put the clamps on LeBron. Then on offense, Stu is about to be unleashed, so I'm expecting my guy to show out. Right after that, on November 20th is our first matchup against Sacramento. Kings fans have been insufferable and overall lame as hell. We know Ivy vs King and Murray will be the highlight, but the fan beef between teams is the lowlight. Somehow basketball discussion turned into roasting cities, then out of nowhere Kings fans started making jokes about Flint's water. After that, it became clear why that franchise is cursed. They deserve all that negative energy. So I feel like this is a must-win game for the Pistons, not just because of the Rookie of the Year race, but because Kings fans must continue to suffer.
December 4th, a star was born.
Is where the Pistons host Ja Morant and his Grizzlies. I feel like the Pistons are on the same trajectory as the Grizz. They stocked up on young players and rely on them to make the playoffs. The Pistons are following a similar game plan, so this game will be a good measuring tool. 3 days later, the squad hits New Orleans. There we will hopefully get another matchup between Cade and Zion. I'm hoping both teams will be healthy for this clash of titans. December 18th is another exciting matchup, as the Pistons play the Nets. Cade vs KD was fun last year, friends off the court but battle to the death on the court. It will be interesting to see how their team even functions with all the drama this offseason and the spacing with Ben Simmons. After that, 2 days before Christmas, the squad will play the Hawks for a 3rd time. Hopefully the Pistons play on Christmas Day in a few years, but this matchup 2 days before the holiday should be good, especially since it's round 3 versus the Hawks. The final game of 2022 will be against the new Twin Towers in Minnesota. If there was ever a game for Jalen Durant to play, I hope it's this one. Stu and Durant vs Cat and Gobert will be a heavyweight fight. On January 2nd, first game of the new year, the Pistons head to Portland. There they will take on Jerami Grant and the Blazers. This game will feature multiple storylines. We see how Grant is doing with his new team, plus Jerami vs Bey will be a fun matchup. Another clash will be Ivy vs Shaedon Sharpe. Round 1 was cut short due to Shaedon's shoulder injury, so here's hoping round 2 is more exciting. And let's not forget about the headliner of Cade versus Damian Lillard. Those two are going to be trading buckets for an entire game, so have your popcorn ready. And as always, it will be great to see Pistons GOAT Chauncey Billups. On January 19th, the Pistons play in Paris. I believe those tickets are on sale if you plan on making the trip. Killian Hayes will be looking to show out, and I hope it goes well for him. Quick note is that the game starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time because they're in France. On top of that, January 19th is on a Thursday, so call in sick, take a day off, and enjoy some Detroit basketball. Then we skip way ahead to January 28th, which is Pistons versus Rockets at Little Caesars Arena. We all know the history between Cade and Jalen Green.
You got the tough guy, Cade, off the court, walking around like he's the big bro all the time.
I really am big bro, especially Jalen Green.
This time around though, the Rockets added some firepower with Jabari Smith Jr. That is going to be a dogfight, and we might actually see some fights. Last year, the Pistons turned their season around right before All-Star break against the Celtics. Same exact scenario here on February 15th as the Pistons head to Boston. Shouts out to Dream Cage because I forgot to mention Boston in my Rivals video. But as the Pistons get better, this rivalry will heat up. If the Pistons hold their head above water, there's a high chance they make the playoffs. During March and April, they play teams that are either tanking or teams that will be fighting for play-in spots. For example, we play the Pacers 3 times during March and April, along with the Thunder, Magic, and Rockets. Last game of the season is Pistons versus Bulls. I expect Chicago to have their spot secured in the playoffs, so they may rest some players. As for the Pistons, depending on where they are in the standings, this could be a must-win game. In regards of national TV games, the Pistons will only have one again this year.
Emotional damage.
January 10th, the Pistons play the Sixers on TNT. The TNT crew had some strong opinions on the squad last year without actually watching the team. So it will be interesting to see what they say once they actually watch them in both preseason and regular season. There's also 3 games on NBA TV, Cade vs Luka on December 1st, Pistons Bulls January 19th, and Pistons Bucks on March 27th. Due to the lack of games on national TV, it will be tough for some of our players to make an all-star team, and to qualify for some awards. So as the saying goes, with an easy 4 games to start, that will give the Pistons time to gel. After that, the schedule is pure evil, but if the squad can survive, we could see them explode on a win streak to conclude the season, as the schedule is very easy to end. And that wraps up this video. What matchup are you guys looking forward to this season? Let me know in the comments below. So much to get excited for: Cade and Bey trying to become all-stars, Stu in his new role, Kill and Livers making a leap, and Ivy and Durant on the NBA stage. All that should be fun to watch. Add to that the fair schedule, and the hype train is on overdrive. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to see more Pistons content. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.